Well, hello, everyone. We'll say hi. Tizzy, would you like to introduce our friends to your friend?
Hi, this is my friend Leo.
Hi, guys.
Leo, is that short for Leonardo?
Like-
No.
Wait, is that like Leonardo da Vinci?
No, just Leo.
Okay.
I don't really like to paint, but another art, and that's roaring. Roar. So, yeah.
Well, that's very good. Well, it's nice to meet you, Leo, and I'm glad you're here for our story today. So, yesterday, when we finished off our story, we left Jesus and his disciples, right, in the upper room, and Jesus had washed the disciples' feet, and they had had supper, but something else had happened that was very, very sad, and that is that one of the disciples actually decided to betray Jesus. That's right. So he left to betray Jesus, and all the rest of them, the 11 disciples and Jesus, went up to the Mount of Olives. And Jesus was up there praying, and the disciples were tired. They were sleeping. When Judas came back, the one who had betrayed Jesus, with a band of soldiers and different religious leaders to arrest Jesus. So they arrested him, bound him up, and took him down to stand trial before the high priest and before the Roman governor. Tizzy, did you notice this time he really was standing trial? Not, what word did you learn the other day?
Triumph.
That's right. Not triumph this time. A trial. Okay. Well, he was standing trial, and sadly, the crowds this time, they were yelling something very, very different. They were yelling, "Crucify." Yeah, did you have a question, Leo?
Yeah. Weren't these the same crowds that cheered him into the city?
Oh, you mean on Palm Sunday?
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly it. These are the same, probably some of the same people, if not most of the same people, who before had been yelling, "Hosanna to the Son of David," right? Remember what else they were cheering? "Hosanna in the highest." Right?
Hosanna.
That's right.
Hosanna.
Hailing him as king. But this time, they were yelling something very different. They were yelling for him to be crucified. They were yelling, "Crucify him. Crucify him." That's right. Very good, Leo. You're a quick learner.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is pretty much where our story starts. Jesus was taken away to be crucified. So he was hung on a cross between two thieves. He'd been hanging there, and this is where our story will start. So today we're going to read from Matthew chapter 27. Now, it was about the 6th hour, and the 6th hour is around noon, when the sun is high in the sky and very bright. But on this day, it was about the 6th hour, and there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour, which is around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And about the 9th hour, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, saying, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And some of the bystanders hearing it said, "This man is calling for the prophet Elijah." And one of them at once ran and took a sponge, filled it with sour wine, put it on a reed, and gave it to him to drink. But the others said, "Wait, let us see whether the prophet Elijah will come to save him." And Jesus cried out again with a loud voice and yielded up his spirit. This means that he died. And behold, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. And the earth shook, and the rocks split, and the tombs were also opened. Now, when the centurion and those who were with him keeping watch over Jesus saw the earthquake and what took place, they were filled with awe and said, "Truly, this was the Son of God." So when it was evening, there came a rich man from Arimathea named Joseph, who also was a disciple of Jesus. And he went to Pilate, the governor, and asked Pilate that the body would be given to him. So Jesus took the body, Joseph, and Joseph took the body and wrapped it in a clean linen, laid it in his own new tomb, which he had cut in the rock, and he rolled a great stone to the entrance of the tomb and went away. So that's the end of our story. What did you think about the story, Leo?
Well, I really liked all the huge earthquakes and the rocks going bloom, bloom. You know, like that was awesome. And
I would imagine that would be pretty impressive.
And, like, can you imagine in the middle of the day when you probably are eating lunch, you look around and it's all dark and you're like, I can't see. It's like, wow.
You're right. Did you notice that there was someone else there that was also very impressed by the earthquake and the rocks and the darkness?
Oh, yeah.
Who was it?
The centurion guy.
Yes, you're right, the centurion. Do you remember what he had said?
Yeah, he said, surely this is the Son of God.
That's right. That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tizzy, what did you think about the story?
Well, I'm sad.
You're sad? Can you tell me about how you're feeling? Why? Is it the story?
Yeah. Why did the people want to crucify him?
Oh, why did they want to crucify him? That's a hard question. We don't necessarily know why. And we might even ask, well, why did Jesus let this happen if he's God, right? He could have called down legions. That's like all of his troops of his army of angels. But he didn't. Did you know that actually, this is really important. Did you know that Jesus actually chose to stay on that cross? He chose to die? Yeah, he did.
Why would he do that?
Why would he do that? Well, he did it because he loves you and our friends and Leo and me and everyone in the world so much that he chose to die so that one day we could live with him. What do you think about that?
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would be awesome to live with Jesus.
It will be.
Yeah.
But how can you live with him if he's dead?
Oh, that's a great question, and I'm glad you asked that because you know what, Tizzy? We are going to read the story about that next time. Yes.
Ooh.
So, Leo, you're going to have to come again. Do you think you can be here again for Easter Sunday?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe our friends out there can be here again too, right?
That would
We
be
will
awesome.
we'll talk about this. Okay. Well, that's it for today. How about we
Yay.
just go on ahead and say a big goodbye?
Bye.